Why are concussions more common or seemingly more common today? Well, maybe it's awareness. Maybe there's more people aware of it now. Maybe there's something deeper to it. So asking the question why, not just settling for the first answer. Why are concussions more common? Well, because players are using their helmets to strike opponents. Well, that's obvious. So you continue to ask and dig and drill down deeper. Why are players striking opponents with their helmet? They're taught this by coaches, or they emulate it from watching TV. That's what I did. I was like, well, I'm going to watch the best guys at my position, NFL players. So, oh, this is how he does it. He just spears the guy with his face. Okay, great. Coach had to do that too, so we're going to do it. So that's why we do it. Why do NFL players hit with their heads? They're there. They're the ones that, they get the best coaches, right? The NFL is not a developmental league. It's an audition. It's an entertainment business. It was very surprising to me too. I was excited. I could not wait to get there and really learn the best. I'm like, I can't wait. My coach is making all his money. He's got to be the best guy in the world. He knows his stuff, and I'm going to learn from him. I finally get to learn how to do this, you know? And I was pretty disappointed, I've got to tell you, when I got there. It was an audition. You know, they're not there to develop you. The NFL is, they call it the no feedback league. You've probably heard it's called the not for long. There's a bunch of acronyms, but the no feedback league is one of the more, that one makes a lot of sense to me because they don't talk to you, they don't tell you much. Why doesn't the NFL develop players, and what about college? Well, this is kind of a complex answer, but the collective bargaining agreement, that's the term that they negotiated with the players union, how much time a coach can work with a player in the off season, things like that. The NCAA, they limit opportunities for development. So for example, you get to college. So let's say you played high school ball like I did. You get to Arizona State. You're excited about your opportunity to really learn to play the game. You know, you spend about 6 months or more of your time. The majority of your time in football activity is spent in the weight room. Okay? You're not spending that time with your coach because you can't. Your position coach, the guy that knows the technical skill that's required of you, he's limited to his desk. He cannot work with you, except for 2 weeks in the off season. So that's kind of a problem, right? The no fundamentals league. So the no feedback, no fundamentals, not for long, all that stuff applies. The player development model, this is really the key. If you can't work with a player in the off season for skill, then what do you do? Well, I guess we can get him in the weight room and get him as big and fast, as strong as possible, and that'll upgrade our team. That's how they're doing that. And instead of working on better, we don't work better. We out-recruit, we out-sign in free agency, and then we take what we have and we improve that by making them faster, stronger, and larger. That is the development model, period. And there's something wrong with that. Why are bigger, faster, stronger players more susceptible to injury? Greater force on impact minus technical skill leads to elevated risk. So, yes, sir.
Quick question. So, is it fair to say that it's completely on you as a player to develop yourself once you get to
100%. Well, you're accountable. You know, if you don't, guess what? You don't have a job. And given the fact that it's extremely complicated, that the offensive playbook is that thick or something, they're thick. It's a lot of information to know. And so it's one thing to know. So coaches, I'm not putting them down and saying they're dumb. They're very smart, but they don't necessarily, they know what to do, they don't really know how to do it. There's very few technicians in that trade. So when you get there, yeah, you're not given any time. So if that's not the job requirement because of the restrictions, you're just not getting that. You're not getting those coaches that are experts in technique. So, and then they're not inclined to answer it because they know this. Hey, you go there and you do well, you get to stay for the next play, you get to stay for the next day. If you don't do well, we got a whole list of guys waiting for your job. So that's kind of the way that's kind of almost a lazy way out. But it's just the system. I think it's a system of the NFL and then in college too, you know, quite frankly. So to sum up the 5 whys here, we asked why concussions are so prominent anymore, and we've come to our answer if we ask deeper questions. Players are unequipped to protect themselves, and it's due to this systemic top-down approach where this problem requires focus from the bottom up. Okay, when it comes to skill development. Force equals mass times acceleration plus an undeveloped player equals elevated risk. It's a math equation. So that's kind of the essence of what we learned from the 5 questions. And that's important when you're trying to solve a problem, I think. Just kind of looking at the problem holistically and going deeper on it.